I was
You're
gonna.
not on
Nah, bro.
loudspeaker, are you?
It was $440 round trip.
I know. I was the
I
one who
left
found
today.
the ticket. I was the one
Yeah,
literally who found the ticket. I
Are
know.
you,
anybody should
are you
do
on
that.
loudspeaker?
I was gonna say if he's on loudspeaker right now in the airport, then we just all yell, "He's got a bomb! He's got something on him! Fucking!"
No.
All right, Barrier, you're up.
Yes.
This is your moment.
You gotta start. You just gotta fucking really scare him there. Yeah, he's looking. He's like, that's the TSA agent looking at him. He's like, it wasn't me. It was my
We got
phone.
42 minutes. We're good. Until I board.
My
When I went to
backpack.
Nats
got
last
big
time, they
clothes.
pulled my back to the side after the screening, and they're like, "You got a deck of cards in here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, a couple decks." And they actually opened it up to check it to see if it was actually decks of cards.
They're looking. They're just like, oh my god, fucking. Ugh, you're fucking running Sin
Wait,
Shenron. This is garbage. Throws out your deck. We good to cook?
We are good to cook.
Sounds good. I'm gonna pour the rest of my haram juice, and then we're gonna get to it. So, team talk number 9. This is another one. We're just on the road to Nats here. We're plucking at the content here because there's not a lot going on. Everyone's just ready, ramping up for Nats. We had Italian Nats this weekend. We might touch on that a little bit, but we also are going to be talking about that new time ruling change with overtime, because I think it is very important that was implemented. A little weird that it's not immediately. So I know a lot of the other Nats, like in Europe, that are happening, I believe, this weekend, are a little upset about that. But that, and we can also touch on the holiday event. I think that's what we're going for here. But just to start with that whole new time ruling. So Bandai posted today in the morning. This obviously recording this Tuesday morning, and this will be out Friday for you guys. But that the overtime rulings, once you obviously go into turns, you'll go your 0, 1, 2, 3. If you don't make it within the time, I believe it's still 10 minutes. For any reason, if the battle still isn't over, it would end immediately. So even if you're in the middle of a combo step, whatever, ends immediately. They check the game state from there. Now, with the whole new ruling effective, I think December 1st or whatever, they're saying that with that ruling, it will end after the battle is over. So no more in the middle of a combo step, stalling out a combo step kind of shenanigans here. It's going to be, we have to finish this battle. Once this battle is over, then the game can be deemed over, and then they check the state of the game. So at least for me, and I feel most of us, that's definitely a positive. I don't know if we got any kind of devil's advocate here for that.
No, not one
Well,
bit.
I think it's very neat. It was better late than never, right?
Pretty fair, but I think it could still be abused.
How so?
I think it's good.
Well, I mean, anything can be abused. I mean, it could just, someone could say, like declare their attack, and then it could go into time. The person could respond in time, like with their negate. You know what I mean? Like, or kind of like watch the timer go down and their response, to wait for the time to go down and then be like, oh, I negate. So then it automatically ends the battle. And that way they can be like, well, I was weighing the options of whether or not it was worth to, to negate or try to combo out of the battle.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think.
I guess
trying
so.
to think of how dirty people could be.
Because there'd be the possibility if they're swinging with something that's lower power and they still have a bigger card on the field, they're swinging with that to try to bait out whatever, and then you're just like, 5, 4, 3, 2. You know what? I'm going to choose to negate now because I don't need to worry about that second attack because the game's going to be over. But I think that would still work in the other way, right, too? Like, even halfway through the combo step, that'd still be a similar tactic. People are going to be scumbags with time rules. They're going to be scumbags with time rules.
Yeah. I don't disagree with it. I think, Dragon Ball player integrity has increased over the years rather than decreased, which
Amen.
Yeah, so I don't think it would be, I think it's healthier than anything. It's less abusable than the previous rulings for sure.
No, I completely agree with that. I know, especially Europe side, a lot of people aren't a fan that they're waiting till December 1st. So Europe Nats is going to be the same thing if you're halfway through battle, which I still think is the stupidest thing, where you're just comboing, like you're going for your Hail Mary play, and then you're just like, oh, I didn't finish comboing, the game's over now, I didn't get to do my damage or 2 damage, whatever, to push me to that win. Which I
Or
always thought
your
was
opponent
stupid.
didn't combo.
Or your opponent didn't combo. Yeah, that's actually the truth too, because you could literally have the whole thing and they're just slowly comboing there. And they don't have enough combo power, and it's just like, okay, game's over. Like, how heartbreaking that shit must be, especially at Nats.
I do think this also makes the 8-drop Gohan, the blue SGR, very valuable for Nats, because when the time is getting low, the opponent is going to be pressured to over combo, to like combo out for game, and to be able to respond with that Gohan in the battle and then immediately win. Especially, when it comes down to both players having the same amount of life and then it goes to cards in hand. Just the pressure of knowing that blue would have that is going to make those last time swings a lot more pressure on the opponent.
Yeah, because what's the effect? If you Z-charge you tap 1 and it's 5 or less to the bottom of the deck?
No, you can tap 3, activate battle, and play it from your hand.
Okay, yeah, for the actual play effect. Okay.
Exactly. So, like, if you're both at 2 life and they're swinging, and you have 10 cards in your hand, your opponent has 14. They're going to be They're going to be a lot more pressure on them to try to combo out to win. But knowing that you could potentially have the Gohan, and then now you end the battle immediately because you return it or you bottom deck it, and then now your opponent wins because they have more cards in their hand. So I just feel like the added pressure of that card existing in blue is going to make that last swing a lot more important.
That's true too, and especially with blue having that hit to Senzu Bean and stuff, having access to Senzu Bean on, like, in that situation where it's just like you're at 2 energy. In blue, we all know 2 energy or 1 energy means you have all your energy. But yeah, tapping 3 and then going into a card and just completely stopping the battle, and then, like, if they were to combo their whole hand there, and just like, okay, well, GG's. Like, I think that's definitely something to watch out for, especially with the Sun Gohan rares. Like, all of them, I think, for the most part, are really good. You got the red one, minus, 15 to everything, including unisons? And that's activate main / battle. 7 things, which 7, some decks can exceed that, but it's 7 things, and then the green one can wipe 3 markers, and it's also deflect crit, I believe, that can't be removed from the battle area for 2 turns. And then obviously the blue one we were just talking about. And
black one's broken.
Black one's the negate one, right? That black one's pretty. I think that black one. I think they all look sick, but that black one looks really sick. Especially having a card with Piss Baby Gohan and Raditz actually making it look sick. Kudos to them. But with all that, I know those are going to be big cards to see. It depends too, right? Because a lot of people might not get their product on time and have to go and get these scalpers at Nats to go get Sun Gohan rares because they replaced the SPR. There was only 1 per box. So even if you were buying a case, you might not have playsets of what you want. And it's very likely that you don't. So I wonder how much we're actually going to see of those Gohan rares by that time, at least. I know we have a little extra over Europe, but I don't know. Anybody got thoughts on that?
On the SGRs?
SGRs, like the availability and like how, like, I know obviously for each color they all do their own thing color respectively, right? But like obviously you want to watch out for stuff like that because you're going to Nats, you're going to play, right? You're bringing your best shit. You're going to try your hardest. Same thing with Black Smoke. A lot of Black Smoke. We've been hearing out of cases, people getting 1, 2. We lucky enough on stream we pulled 3 of them out of a case. But still, out of 1 SR, only pulling 3 of them, it's just like, okay. Like, for a side deck, sure, 3 is probably what you need. But if you're not buying a case, and people I already saw selling them for like 30 American, I'm like, holy shit. Like, they're going there. But people will pay for them because right now, that's the side deck card that everyone's talking about. And even some decks' main deck card, especially blue. What do you care about energy? You have access to all the energy in the world.
Yeah. The availability of things is definitely going to be interesting, but the thing is, like, the set dropped like last week. There's still like 2 weeks, and anybody who's like going in to play seriously, like properly, is gonna have those cards anyways. So realistically, it doesn't matter. Like, it's I don't know. It's weird.
Well, plus PPG, you know,
That's
generally, like the last time they hosted Nats, they had 4 gigantic tables of singles with them, and plus we're in their home turf, so there's not really the issue of traveling with bulk to the event, you know, because it's a lot closer. So I imagine their inventory will be quite extensive. So the availability should be pretty high. Plus, you know, not a whole lot of people are on blue for Nats. You know, it's like all about red. So I imagine that'll kind of balance out the price too for any spice decks that people are working on, you know.
That's true as well. But that's the thing too. Even the red one, what? It's if you hit at least 5 cards, you get triple strike and 10k. Like, it's still better on the defense, like especially if you have Beard disappeared, went to the Shadow Realm. But even if you have that go on, and like say in SS4s, if you have that go on and Imposing Presence, you basically got fucking Baby Hatch. Like, what the hell are they gonna do with minus 20k to their board? Like, that's the thing. Like, 1 energy, because the other one, if you're 3 or less, you can just discard for Imposing. But like, that can shut down a whole turn in itself. Especially if they're obviously, you got to start playing around that swing first before you start playing all your guys, because it's just whatever's on the board with that he's negging, not like Imposing is whatever's swinging. But still, I think it's ridiculously good. And red is just another card for red to just, you know what? Yeah, sure, I'll slot it in. Why not? I draw a million cards anyway. I'm gonna see it. Who cares if I add an extra card to my deck? Uh-oh. I think we got Robo Chris. No? Okay. I don't know. Does anybody have any more thoughts on like the SGRs? I don't what was the yellow one? The yellow one's the one I always forget. Because I feel
Yellow
like
one's got a good combo effect. Very good combo effect.
okay, so what does the yellow one do exactly?
When you combo it, you pay the 1 yellow when you Z charge it, and you KO something 6 or less in rest mode. It's pretty relevant.
Okay.
And then the way to play it, you have to pay 1, and basically it's like Poutine's conditions, almost exact same, but you have to pay 1 to play it, 1 Carlos. And then when it's on the board, if your opponent would play a battle card 6 or more that does not have barrier, it comes into play in rest mode.
I'm assuming that's a once per turn?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. So it stops the whole bait thing with Poutine, where Poutine, they could just like bait out a card that they don't really care, like a Nova.
Yeah.
Like a Nova that they're going to pop anyway, right? This way,
Yeah.
it's as soon as they start playing the big boy gets rested. Okay, so it is something to actually watch out for.
Yep.
Yeah, it gets around deflect. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the anti-Z battle card.
But only hit 6 or more, though.
Only hit 6 or more. So I'm trying to think what Z battle card would be 6 or more. I don't think we have one, right?
Okay, sorry.
No.
I thought it was 6 or less.
It
My bad.
hits
doesn't
the,
get
it hits
through
those
barrier,
ACOS
does
boss
it?
monsters. It doesn't go through barrier. It just hits the ACOS boss monsters, right? Because all the recent ones have like deflect, but not barrier.
Yeah, it's all to protect from God Sealing and 8 cost to protect from Frieza.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I didn't even think about it. Okay, so it is a lot better. It's the one I see the least of, right? That's
Definitely.
Yellow's also always really tight because of how many fucking extra cards you throw in yellow that are just Realm of Gods. I know people
But
are-
like you have nasty 2 energy plays though, because like you can use Realm, or not even 2 energy. You just use like Poas, rest a battle card. That is a problem. Just pop it with the Z charge ability.
Yeah, that is true too. But I'm saying getting that out early too. Does it have any protection in itself or no?
I don't remember.
Because if it had barrier like Putin, that's another card that's just a pain in the ass.
Okay, so let's see if I can pull it up.
I doubt it. Yeah, I feel like I doubt it because it is stronger.
Yellow builds that I've seen do play 2 of it.
Play 2
No,
of
no
them. it.
protection.
No protection.
No
Okay.
protection.
Fair enough.
15k.
Fair enough. It is literally shutting off a boss monster for the turn.
You have to hit 4 life or less too.
Yeah. I think that's all of them, right? All of them are 4 life for the actual play ability, like
Yeah.
to play them. Is black
Or
not?
less life.
Josh keeps saying no. So I know the green, the red, the green, the red. Oh no, they got him at TSA. They're taking him down. They're putting him in the headlock.
Alright, let me check my stuff.
But yeah, I think most of them were the 4 less for the play, and then they all had a Z charge ability.
Yeah, maybe the black one isn't. I don't know.
No, they're all 4 or
Yeah.
less life for the
Yeah, it's
play.
all 4 less life.
Okay, then.
Now he's siding in a couple in his deck.
That's good to know.
Yeah. That's true too, because that's another thing. Like when everyone thinks, like there's always like certain things that players think about, like what life your opponent's at. Obviously, Awakens #1, but who the fuck waits for Awakens anymore? Everyone's awakening turn 2, turn 1, whatever. Especially if you're Sin. But the thing is, like, if you have your opponent at 6 life, you're like, okay, they can't do their token negates. I can do this. Now you got to think of 4 less. Okay, they can't use their Son Gohan, whatever, because they're at 5 life. Like, they can't play it. They can obviously still do the Z energy ability, but that's just another thing to keep in the back of your mind, right? Because 4 less, you're thinking a lot of times super combos, right? Because everyone's running those super combos, Krillin, Paragus,
Yep.
whatever the fuck. It's just like, okay, they can't do this unless it's obviously like an arrival deck. I don't know who the fuck's going to bring an arrival deck and have multi super combos. Sorry, Beerus. I forgot. Beerus. Everyone plays
16.
Beerus in red. And 16.
16.
Those are the two. And 16 is definitely a deck we're probably going to see again, especially from how well it did in Nats last year and how the Zenkai format has also boosted that deck. It's just like, yeah, all these new decks are getting free combos. Yeah, I've had that first. Like, come on.
Well, it's also the only blue deck that can justify playing 4 Senzu Beans still in the main.
Yeah, that is true. But like for blue decks, what? Okay, you know what? Let's do a thought experiment here. What's the percentage of the blue decks that we're gonna see that are gonna be SS3? Or do you think it's gonna be 50, or do you think it's gonna be like 30?
60.
60? You think it's even over half? There's not gonna be that many Gohans? I feel like Gohan's gonna be up there. I feel like there's gonna be at least out of the blue decks, at least 30% of them are gonna play Gohan.
The 3 mana
I
go
think-
on?
Yeah.
I think SS4 Vegeta is going to have a good showing too, just because of blue representation, and it's really good right now. Good spot.
I don't think enough people have had enough time. Gohan's extremely punishing if you play it wrong or misplay.
True.
And I mean, I'm sure there'll be people playing Gohan, but at post round 4, I don't think you'll really see any Gohans except for maybe that one person who put the extra effort and really likes the high skill cap decks. So
That's true. That is one thing where it's just like SS3 kind of has that. Okay, as soon as I get to where I want to be, and I'm awakened, I'm gonna regardless have 3 energy, maybe even 4 if I got Boo on my opponent's turn. Like, how wrong can this go? Especially like their biggest weakness is green, right? How much green are we really gonna see at Nats? We're probably gonna see Cell. Cell is, we already saw Italian Nats. There was a couple of Cells, but compared to like red and fucking Sin Shadow and all that, blue is the answer to all those. And I don't know. I definitely SS3.
You'll see Gotenks and Cell.
That's true. I always forget Gotenks is a green deck. It's the opposite green deck. It's the one that removes markers. That was the whole thing when it started, right?
Top 8
Top
in
8.
Italy.
Yeah. And with the V-Rays hit, Gotenks I think is in a great spot too. Right? It's got a 25Ks, all that. It's just like, okay, yeah, sure. Use V-Rays. Sure. I got all these dual attack, double strike, all this. 25K, have fun. So I think it's got what? The new one's what, 30? The one that's like busted as shit, where if you have a Z leader or Z energy, whatever, that one's nuts. But I think that one is 30, so that'd be the only one to actually get hit by it. Still, I don't know.
Yep.
I think that's a really good contender for green.
Yeah.
I mean, V-Rays really hurt Roshi, and I haven't played it since V-Race got hit. V-Race and Yamcha really hurt Yoroshi.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
And I welcome
can
Roshi
imagine.
players. Please give me some Roshi.
Yes.
I'm fine with
I'm
that,
still
man. Bring it.
debating on it, honestly. Roshi's, I don't even give a fuck if it's a good deck. It's a fucking fun deck. That's Roshi's fun as shit. That is, it's nearing. I don't know if it honestly is nearing like Ginyu and King Cold levels of fun. That deck is fun as fuck. Especially Blue Baby. That was the favorite match I've ever played in my life. You want to have no battle cards to get cheaper counter skills? Sorry, I'm gonna give you a couple of piss babies. Have fun, and then just kill them at the end of the turn. Get my effects. Oh, beautiful. But if a Roshi gets into like top 32 the next day, I think I'll kiss the man. That's all I'm saying. This is your open invite. But I think that's pretty much, we got into time rules and all that. We can touch on like holiday events. Who here played in a holiday? I know Beer and myself, we had it streamed and stuff. Did anybody else participate in the holiday events with it was just literally a pre-release. It was a pre-release, but instead of pre-release like packs, you got the Gamma and then you got a holiday pack. So it was just a pre-release in fucking disguise.
Yeah, I hosted one last week, and we have another one next week.
How did that first one go?
It went well. I don't like having limited stamped cards. I really like the idea of SR stamped, but it just, I don't know. It, as a collector, from a collector standpoint, being able to have full pre-release stamp sets and then all of a sudden only having like partial ones just kind of is weird. But aside from that, like in terms of player interaction, it is fun and adds a lot more value to like having people come to locals to obtain certain cards.
That is true. The light of God. I'm literally.
no.
Oh God, help me,
Sending.
someone please kill me. Okay. There we go. That looks a lot better. It was pissing me off, but the whole thing with the holiday, I think it was just like, it literally was pre-release in disguise for the most part, right? Like the only thing was the magenta leader. You weren't going to be able to play the magenta leader. There's no way you were pulling enough villainous cards to even run that deck or extra cards. It was nice. Have a gat. That's true. He does have a gat. I know. Beer and I were in the finals. It was nice to see the golden gat. I wish he had a golden gun on the winner leader, but it was nice to see new players too. We had what, two? Was there two new players there that showed up, or one? I can't remember. I know there was the other guy because there was another guy that wanted to play, but he was just gonna grab a box instead, and then we helped him build the what was it, Pan starter, right? He was grabbing cards. So it was good. Yeah. So as long as I'm completely fine with all these things, I know pre-release a lot of people hate, just playing dogshit decks. I always play dogshit decks, so it's fun. I only pulled Broly and Gogeta, and I didn't pull any Broly extra cards, so I was forced to play Gogeta, and it was still fun, and it actually made me think of, like, I think I had 4 Gogeta cards. I had the 1-drop Goku and Vegeta, and the God Goku and the Super Saiyans for both, so 5 cards, and it made me think more about that deck. Like, I completely was just like, fuck this deck, I just want to play Broly. I think that deck's pretty cool. X evolving from your Z energy, getting effects, like it seemed like, will it be tiers 1, tier 2? Probably not. It's fun though. That's what I am driven towards in this game, is fun stuff. And you know what? It's always in green. I don't fucking know why. It's always in green. They're just like, you know what? Red, here's good stuff. I know this set they have a couple, like the Trio SR is a good SR in general. The decks maybe not as much, obviously, compared to Sin and GT, but like the green decks are like, okay, here's Broly extra card. We're just gonna make Prison Frieza, and we're gonna make it way better than it ever was. And then the second one here is, we're gonna make this kind of combo killer Z energy deck that you can X evolve. It's all Z energy play. Like, it's completely leaning into the Z energy, like how Cooler leaned into the whole Unison play stuff at the end of the Unison block, which I think is great. And I know Gohan touches on that a little bit too, with you're playing the SR from your Z energy and you're just trying to combo your whole hand and then refreshing your hand on yours and your opponent's turns. So I think everyone wrote off
do-
this set. No, go on.
Yeah, I do see the potential in the holiday event, though. While we're on the subject
Yeah.
of kind of combining it with some of their old ideas of making it more of a draft type
I love
event.
drafts.
Because it kind of reminded me, like, in terms of like how the prize support was delivered, it kind of reminded me of how their One Piece super pre-release events were, where it's like, you get a pack of a card that you can kind of add to your deck, and then you play for a leader. And I could see them kind of combining that, where it's the holiday events or pre-release events are more geared towards newer players and having them come and everybody be on even playing ground, and combining it with like their old school draft box ideas. I could see it really turning into something.
That's true. That's a fair point. It was fun overall, all around though, except for the fact that we had a cursed case.
Yeah, the cursed case was the worst. This is our official send out to Bandai. There was 2 cases we had at the store. One of them was used for the tournament to open packs, and we had one of our teammates, Faisal, pull Cellmax. So there was 3 boxes left, and then someone
Yeah.
bought the 1 box, opened it, nothing. There's 2 boxes left. I had 1 box set aside for myself, and then we opened the 2 last boxes at the same time, and I think you split it 4 ways, and you guys did basically pack wars to see who won. And I know the new player, I'm sorry that I forgot his name, but he opened like the SPR. I think he opened the SPR and like 3
Yeah.
SRs. Like
Tiago, right?
Yeah, Tiago. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're still here. Why the hell are you webcam? What the hell? You've been sitting here in the back. I didn't even know you're here. You completely spoiled yourself here. Get the hell in here. But what I'm saying with all that is that then I opened my box and I was going through, and everyone's hyping me up. Okay, you got the SCR. You got the SCR. We went through the whole box. 0. We got literally out of that whole case one Cell Max. That's it. We opened a second case and then got Cell Max and Gohan. And for anybody that's debating on buy, you know what? No one buy Gohan. Gohan sucks. Gohan is the worst looking art. Don't even think about it. It's disgusting. Sell it to me for $20. Okay. I'll take it off your hands. I'll bring it to the dump. Don't worry about it. But yeah, see, for all seriousness, seeing that card in person was insane. I literally opened it on stream without even like noticing it. I was just rifling through packs because I think it was like the 8th box in, and yeah, it's beautiful. It is a beautiful card, and of course, like all the SCRs this set, they're all snapped, and that one is just a special kind of snap that it rivals Hatch, right? Like depending on the deck. Also, Kaioken Goku, that's another one that's up there for certain decks, but with the kind of aggro style blue play, like, why not? Why not bounce everything back to your opponent's hand, crit a life, and then have a basically 40 crit dual attack and restanding your leader or restanding an energy? Like, and it's activate battle. If they don't get rid of it right away, there's 2 energy back. There's a blocker back. Like, it's nuts.
It's interesting because if anything, the blue secret rares have created more diversity in blue decks.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Baby Hatch kind of just, I don't know, it created, I don't know, it created
It
like
made
a style of how
style.
to build your deck. And like the
Yeah.
secret rares kind of have added more creativity to the blue pool, for sure.
Definitely, it definitely made it boring. Like, it made it just one play style where they're like, okay, we're gonna hatch on turn 5, then we're gonna go 10 cost foo, and then if they still survive, we go TT next turn and win.
No, 100%. And that's the thing too, that all decks that face blue and all blue players can rely on is drawing Hatch, right? It's just like, okay, I'm going to swing here. He's got at least 2 cards in hand. He can completely stop this turn with just that 1 card and discarding the other one. And everyone had to play around that. Now, at least, it's kind of a good thing for blue players too, right? Because some people will still be in the mindset to play around Hatch. I know Chris Spencer was saying this last team talk, but people will literally be playing around Hatch until they see what the hell your SCR is. because you don't want to completely show your hand, play all your battle cards, and then swing, and then hatch comes up and you're tapped out. Like you're pretty much shit
it's
out
like
of water.
facing green.
Yeah,
It's literally like facing green. If a green player swings with the battle card first and it's 3 open, you're like, oh well, they have counter. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
floodgate. And then after you like do all that, and then like, psych, I'm playing Kabito. Psych, I'm playing Cell Max. And it's like, oh my god, I got baited.
no, 100%. And that's another thing with. I'm trying to think with green too. Green has the option now, especially Cell Max, 1 energy, Quad Strike.
All their SCRs are broken.
Yeah, that's one thing that green's got going for them is SCR choice. Obviously, if you're facing against like Cell Starter or Expert deck, you're probably still going to see Cell Xeno. They're not going to kill you by turn 5, so if it's going to get to turn 5, you're going to run Cell Xeno. If it's going to be an earlier deck, why not run Cell Max? And if it's going to be a Unison-based deck, like if you're thinking cooler and all that stuff, you can always run Kabito Kai, especially... Oh, you know what? That blocker piece of shit? Yeah, give me that. I'm going to draw a card. Okay, thank you. Like, I'm trying to think other colors that, like, besides blue now, blue is starting to get more like green where it has, like, those options between those three besides, like, you know, Super Pycon, which we had before. It's just like, yeah, who the hell's playing that?
Red has a lot of good options, but, like, it's usually just the Vegeta because it's the most simplest.
Yeah, Vegeta, and then obviously for the GT boys, they're usually running the red Overwhelm because why not? It's free. It's free and it's a double bean on your leader at the worst. Like, sure you can negate a quad strike.
There are other options.
Yeah, there are other options, especially if you get to 1 Vegeta, you win the game. That's just how it is. Tap 4, win the game.
Oh, Hanks is still solid.
Yeah. That is another one too. Go Hanks. It's another one that you don't see too often. Obviously the Unison SCRs have been underused. Like obviously Vegito's a lot worse than Go Hanks. There hasn't been a deck that really fulfilled that role. Funny enough, I did play against was it probably about a month ago on my viewer battles was someone running the good Android 21 where you can only have the 6 whatever. They used the SCR Vegito to double ramp their turn because they could replace the energy and then the leader would replace that energy as well too, so they got a double ramp, which was a cool little thing because they could double ramp every turn with that. If I literally had to kill the SCR, that was like a big defense for them that I had to kill that thing, so I'm not letting them double ramp every turn.
And eventually it ends up still being a 25 double.
It's true too. 25 double, I've never seen the effect go off like the
ultimate. I've never seen the ultimate.
Yeah,
I've never seen the ultimate go up ever.
But still, I don't think it's horrible. But yeah, Go Hanks, especially to what? It's a board wipe when it comes in. What is it? Minus 20?
Minus 25k, ignoring barrier, the board.
Minus 25k, ignoring barrier, the board. And then +1 auto when your opponent attacks with a battle card. Give it minus 20k, not ignoring barrier.
Minus 25.
25, okay, even better.
And it's a +1 auto, yeah.
Yeah,
and it's a blocker base already.
Yeah.
Dual attack blocker base.
Yeah, and then you can make it
a 40 triple striker for the turn.
Yeah, so 40 triple.
And duel. It restands at end of turn.
Yeah, it's definitely something to look out for. I know it's one you don't see a lot. I've definitely seen Sin builds that use it, but the more likely what you're going to see is Vegeta in that thing, right? Vegeta is easily the best choice, but like you have other alternative options. You have good budget choices. Like Radiant is still very good. Go Hanks is good. Depending on your build, you could go the Goku Frieza, but like that one's a hard one to push.
Unless
you're like I'm proxying my SCR. Here it is, and bring out the silver plaque one and just show it in their face. Just like I won the lottery, guys. Here's
some builds go for the Frieza Army Reborn, just because you're ignoring barrier board wipe. You're getting a quad strike for 5. You're ignoring barrier board wipe, and you look at a card. Yeah, it's still valuable.
But that's the problem too, right? Looking at hand, you also got Vegito that does the same thing. If you got a Saiyan leader, right? You're just like, free, and I get a look at hand. So I know exactly how this turn's going to play out. Unless I do a damage to you first, obviously. But it's going to be, okay, we got this. I got a quad strike. You got this many negates in hand. This is how I'm going to play this turn out.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, the Frieza Army, though, it also, like, wipes the board by itself.
That's the truth, too. Because that kind of has... both the Vegeta and
Yeah.
Vegito in it, right? Because Vegeta's got a board wipe, including Unisons. And then the Frieza doesn't even have to kill itself to do that, just on play. The only problem is Frieza, it's what, 2 or less life, right? To get played for 5.
Yep.
That's the only problem, which, getting down to 2 or less, very easy this time. Just to, still be alive on turn 5 to do that, that's the hard part. Especially with V-Rays being neutered, it's just like, especially Red v Red, there's no way in hell you're seeing turn 5.
Yeah, probably not. And then, like, Yellow has a few good choices, too. But, I mean, ultimately, that's just how it is. You always have a lot of good options all around.
What's the best SCR right now? We'll add one final topic before we close it out. What are we thinking the best SCRs right now?
Bro, that's tough.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Like, overall, just like...
That's a tough one.
Like,
I can't...
Still in my head, like, obviously Vegeta's up there, right? It's got deflect. It's not like a counter, so it can't be counter, blah, blah, blah. And Hatch...
I feel it's Hatch or Vegeta.
That's what I'm saying. The only thing that doesn't make me say Hatch right away is that Hatch does have answers between counters being Baby Ape, Cooler, whatever the hell else you got. Like,
actually, the Red Broly is a beast of an SCR. It's just getting it out.
That's the problem with that, because I think if we're going in a vacuum, that Broly SCR is phenomenal. That is easily top 3.
Getting him out turn 2, because if he's out turn 2, your opponent can basically do nothing, unless they have a way to get rid of a barrier card.
But barrier 8 drop is the problem, because we now have a way to get rid of any barrier card 7 or less. But that's an 8 drop barrier, and everything is -5. Your leader, your combos, your battle cards, like Unisons are the only thing that aren't hit, that are not hit, because obviously it wasn't future proof like that. That'd be spoilers for what set. That was what Assault of the Saiyans.
It came out in the same set. No, it came out set 11, same
was
set.
Was it set 11?
That's
oh
right.
My god.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that was intentional.
Lying. I'm off the yin yang. I'm lying. Yeah, it's true. Okay, that does make sense. But yeah, in a vacuum, because that also has barrier, so it hitting the board, sure, there's God Sealing, whatever the hell, but who the hell's running God Sealing these days? You got maybe two of max in your deck, because everything's got deflect now. Not gonna get hit by Frieza. Sure, even if it gets fucking rested by something, it's still an insane card. Like, just for its permanent effect, let alone it gives your leader a double beam, just like the Vegito SCR does. Like, I don't know. It is definitely a tough one to beat. The only problem is the summoning conditions, and that's why that whole God Case tournament Gogeta deck was so successful, was that it was a deck that can push that SCR out so early that the opponent just couldn't come back from it.
Yep.
But honestly, Hatch, I honestly think just being able to stop an entire turn, like, that's stupid. That is stupid and stupid good. Gohan, I think, is way cooler of an SCR, has a way cooler thing, and I think there's definitely some decks that benefit from having that instead of Hatch, but come on. Literally completely stopping your opponent's turn, just being, no, you cannot attack. If you didn't attack with your leader, you are not getting a draw this turn. Like,
what was interesting, too, is people kind of just forgot about Pan SCR.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. Where it's basically like a mini version of Hatch.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't negate the attack.
Not blue Hatch.
Yeah, it's a not blue Hatch. It doesn't stop the attack that's going through, which could be detrimental. It's the same kind of effect of Dorm Potential, right? Like, Pan doesn't work if you're at 1 life, really. Like, if you don't have the combo stuff to go in and they're swinging like hell, like, they're swinging with a big card, Pan's not going to really do much for you in that situation. But still, it's just like, they got a wide board, you got Pan, which, that's when Pan comes out, right? If they have, I think, you have to have 4 battle cards between you for it to be free. Because it minuses 2 off the cost for every battle card.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, Pan is super good, and it can steal a card too. Like, that's definitely a really good option across
you plug
all
into
decks.
Sin player, then you just, like, steal their 8-drop.
Mm-hmm. And 8-drop's super good. Like, people are running it outside of Sin. Like, you always see Vegito running it. Just because of how good that...
Yeah, if you go to Red Z Leader, you run it.
All right,
super good.
boys, it's time for me to actually board.
All right,
the
see you
week
later,
early.
man.
All right, peace out.
Cheers.
Cheers. I think
See you
with
at Nats.
that, see you at Nats. Okay, well, TSA is definitely heard everything we were saying. They're gonna give him a hard time. And I kick him off the flight. But I think we ended there. Honestly, I think we got some good talk. And there was any final points on SCRs and stuff? Because honestly,
it was great talk, Lucas. You did an awesome job just talking the whole time.
I don't see you on camera. I needed to fucking fill the air.
No,
I'm dying here. I'm sweating to death. It's 12 o'clock. I'm tired. I'm an old man. I'm done.
I'm still working here. I'm still working. I had like a 2-hour break for changing my tires and eating dinner. And
you hear this guy? 2-hour break. My God, you gotta take your vacation. That's what you gotta do. Take it
that's
early.
coming. That's coming. Don't worry.
Yeah. But since Carl isn't here, and I've been talking too much apparently, which is true. My face is red. I'm dying.
I'll close it up.
You close it out. I'm getting old.
All right. Shout out to our sponsor, Game 3. Also, of course, shout out to our boy UniX and his channel, right? Support the guy. Does some good stuff. He's got a Twitch stream. Make sure to support, of course, the legendary Kaioken Cards Twitch stream as well.
It's there.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching, of course. To everybody playing at Nats next week, best of luck. Wish you all do well. But also, we're coming for you. But also not. Have a good time though. All right.
We're gonna find where you sleep.
Oh yes, we're gonna haunt their dreams. But yeah, otherwise, have a great time and keep on keeping.
See you in all. See you. Fuck. I can't. I'm off the ying. I was gonna say see you all in hell, but I fucked it up. You guys win. Sorry, I lose. I'm bringing Ginyu now. That's how it works.